I traveled to Burgundy, the heart of the world's greatest wines. But this time, not just to taste what's in the glass. I wanted to see if the food here could live up to the legendary reputation of its vineyards. Can Michelin star dining truly match the world-class wines of Burgundy, or does the kitchen fall short of the cellar? What I found might surprise you. Welcome to Tastebud. I'm a sommelier with 20 years of experience exploring the world's finest restaurants. On this channel, I share in-depth reviews of the best fine dining destinations around the globe, all rated using my unique 100-point scoring system. Make sure to subscribe as I have tons of amazing reviews coming your way. And stay with me until the end to find out how today's restaurant came out on my scoreboard. Burgundy is more than a wine region. It's also a cultural treasure. Stretching from Chablis in the north down to Mâconnais in the south, this relatively small area produces some of the world's most sought-after wines. Almost entirely from just two grapes, Chardonnay for white and Pinot Noir for red. And what makes it unique is the concept of terroir. The idea that every slope, every patch of soil, every microclimate expresses itself differently in the glass. That's why Burgundy is divided into hundreds of tiny vineyard plots called climats, many of which have been cultivated for over 1,000 years. And it's not only the diversity of terroir that's fascinating, but the precision with which Burgundians celebrate it. A vineyard just a few meters apart can produce wines with totally distinct personalities, and generations of winemakers have dedicated their lives to capturing those differences. That's why Burgundy is often described as the most complex, but also the most rewarding wine region in the world. But is the food here just as captivating as the wines? Well, to find out, I'm visiting what is regarded as the best Michelin star restaurant in Beaune, the capital of Burgundy. Welcome to Hôtellerie Cedre et Spa, a 19th century wine grower's manor transformed into a boutique hotel just steps from Beaune's historic ramparts. Behind its elegant facade, you'll find refined rooms, peaceful garden, and at its heart, Clos du Cedre, the gastronomic restaurant. In 2022, under Chef Jordan Billan, it earned its first Michelin star, firmly placing it among Burgundy's fine dining destinations. I arrive a couple of hours before the first seating, and I'm greeted by the chef himself.
Hello, Jonah.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'll come back to who this young gentleman is a little later. For now, we start with a tour of the place. And wow, this is a beautiful restaurant. Stepping inside here, it doesn't feel like a restaurant at all, actually. It's more like someone's home. And in a way, it is. Set in a 19th century wine grower's manor, once built for vintners whose vineyards shaped Beaune's identity. The layout is intimate and unique, with several rooms and salons, each carrying the elegance of a private mansion. White tablecloths, fine tableware, and historic interior details. From high ceilings to ornate moldings and garden views, create an atmosphere here of classic French refinement. At the heart of the restaurant lies the kitchen, a striking contrast to the historic dining rooms. Sleek and modern, its layout is built for precision, efficiency, and a kind of flawless plating that defines Michelin-starred dining. As I still have some time before dinner, I head back over to the lounge to grab a drink. It's located next door to the restaurant. This is a wood-paneled hideaway with deep armchairs and a fireplace, perfect for an aperitif before dinner, or a quiet nightcap afterwards. I'm joined by my two friends, Reidar and Christopher, and as we expect a lot of amazing wines at the dinner, we decide to start with a beer. Cheers! We are served some homemade bread and pastry snacks alongside, a first sign that this place really takes their bread servings seriously. Just wait and see. We make our way back through the courtyard and into the restaurant, where we are greeted warmly and escorted to our table. Water arrives first, then the menus. You can opt for the a la carte options, but it's of course always better to leave it to the chef. Clos du Cedre offers 4 set menus: traditional 4-course, a creation menu with 5 courses, vegetarian menu, and our choice for tonight, the grand tasting menu consisting of 7 courses. We also opt for the wine pairing, of course, a no-brainer when being in the best wine region of the world. The wine cellar here at Clos du Cedre is a treasure trove to Burgundy, with hundreds of carefully curated references spanning the region's most iconic appellations and vintages, offering one of the most refined selections in Beaune. However, we do of course start with something else. The first pour of the evening is a Blanc de Blanc champagne from Michel Gonnet, made entirely from Chardonnay. Michel Gonnet is a family estate in Avis in the Côte de Blancs, and their style is precise and mineral-driven. It's very much shaped by the chalky soils that define this part of champagne. This glass is crisp, pure, with citrus and green apple at the front and that beautiful chalky salinity that instantly wakes up your palate. It's a perfect beginning, especially with what follows. Still warm sourdough bread served with extra virgin olive oil, salted butter, and a white garlic butter that is silky and aromatic. Already here you sense the kitchen's philosophy. Classic, but layered with detail. Then the first set of snacks arrives. 4 small bites, each one crafted like a miniature dish. A tartlet filled with egg and butter, which combines richness with sharp, almost tropical acidity. A savory bite of black pudding, earthy and deep. A lemony mousse with seaweed, bringing a bright marine freshness. And finally, dried beef with cheese cream, a hit of umami and tang all in one bite. A great start that signals a kitchen that understands balance. Lightness with depth, acidity with cream, crunch with smoothness. And then, another surprise, a small salad of local radishes presented almost like a garden on the plate. Fresh, peppery, crunching with a clean acidity. It's like a palate reset, giving space before the courses ahead. As mentioned earlier, bread is taken very seriously here. Throughout the night, baskets appear with so many options that I stopped counting. Dark, nutty, seeded, crusty, soft. Each one perfect for pairing with different sauces and textures along the way. And trust me, keeping bread nearby proves to be essential later in the meal. Now, the first main course, and it's a bold choice to start this way. Duck foie gras terrine paired with gingerbread and blackcurrant pepper. Alongside it, a layered bread dusted with blackcurrant and ginger. I'll be honest, foie gras is always rich, but here it's handled with precision. The ginger brings warmth and spice that cuts through the fat, while the blackcurrant delivers tartness and acidity and also a peppery lift. And right from the beginning, the chef shows us he's not afraid to lean into Burgundy's love of bold, rich flavors. The only thing missing here was the wine. For some reason, there was no dedicated pairing with the foie gras, and even the champagne wasn't refilled. In fact, they cleared Ryder's empty glass instead of topping it up, leaving the dish completely unaccompanied. A strange choice, in my opinion, because the richness of foie gras begs for a complimentary wine to cut through the fat and lift the flavors. It left me wondering, was this just a small slip or a sign of things to come? We'll have to wait and see how the rest of the service unfolds. However, as we continue, white wine is poured before the first main course. And what a pour it is. Meursault En la Barre 2017 from Domaine Bohrmann. Meursault is, of course, one of Burgundy's legendary white wine villages. The soils here are clay and limestone, producing Chardonnays with richness and tension. En la Barre is a lieu-dit vineyard located right near the village itself. Domaine Bohrmann is known for crafting elegant, mineral wines that still have the generous texture Meursault is famous for. This glass has a ripe orchard fruit, pear and apple, layered with hazelnut and buttered brioche, all wrapped in that classic Meursault creaminess. But it also carries a backbone of acidity that keeps it vibrant. The wine is served with a stunning langoustine dish, or more fittingly, Norway lobster, presented in 3 different preparations, each on a separate plate. Caviar, in 3 variations, adds salinity and luxury, while delicate garnishes highlight the sweetness of the langoustine. This is French fine dining in its purest form. Precision on the plate, precision in the glass, and when they meet, flavors here sync. I love this one, and I'm happy we are back on track. We stay with Chardonnay for the next course, but we take a small journey south to Saint Aubin, one of Burgundy's rising stars, in my opinion. The wine is a premier cru from Orpie de Mont, Chauve, an estate that works across Puligny-Montrachet, Chassagne-Montrachet, and Saint Aubin. Saint Aubin wines are often more mineral, with a leaner profile than their famous neighbors. And this glass has citrus, white flowers, and that chalky, saline edge, elegant and precise. It pairs with the main fish course, trout with chorizo, a miso glaze, and a mosaic of condiments adding texture and complexity. The chorizo adds smoky spice, the miso a deep umami note, and the trout itself is tender and perfectly cooked. The Saint Aubin cuts through the richness while amplifying the salty, smoky notes. A superb match, in my opinion. Between the fish and the meat, a refreshing interlude. Blackcurrant sorbet made with fruit from Nuits Saint Georges. This is a nod to Burgundy itself, where blackcurrant liquor, called crème de cassis, has long been part of the culture. Fresh, acidic, vibrant, and a nice reset. Then the main meat course, and for me, one of the highlights of the evening. Pigeon, smoked on hay, served in multiple cuts. The fillet, breast, leg, and wings. The accompaniments are classic morels, green peas, sweet onion, black garlic, and a mushroom mousse that ties it all together. French gastronomy at its most timeless once again. Deep, earthy, elegant, yet full of finesse. And of course, this dish calls for a red wine. Remember that the palate cleanser a few minutes ago had blackcurrant from Nuits Saint Georges? Well, it might be a coincidence, but also perhaps a thoughtful touch by the sommelier here. Because in the glass here, we have Pinot Noir from Nuits Saint Georges. This is Au Champs-Perdrix 2017 from Domaine Michelin. Nuits Saint Georges is one of the iconic appellations of the Coton Nuits, known for structured, age-worthy Pinot Noir. And this cuvée is from Premier Cru Vineyard, sitting on limestone slopes above the village. Domaine Michelin is a traditional estate, producing wines with depth, spice, and a touch of rustic charm. This 2017 vintage is silky with aromas of sherry, plum, forest floor, and supple oak spice. The tannins are quite firm but well integrated, and the wine has the power to stand up to the smokiness of the pigeon, while the acidity keeps the dish from ever feeling heavy. A great match once again. The red journey continues with another Burgundy Pinot, this time from further south in the Côte Chalonnais. Mercury Premier Cru 2022 from Domaine Philippe Garet. Mercury is often overlooked compared to the Côte d'Or, but it produces excellent value-driven wines, especially in the hands of skilled winemakers like Garrett. The Clos de Montaigu is a monopoly vineyard, meaning the estate owns the entire plot. The 2022 vintage is young, vibrant, bursting with red berries, violets, and a lively freshness. It is paired with a selection of cheeses celebrating both Burgundy and France's unparalleled cheese heritage. Burgundy is home to Epoise, with its famously pungent orange rind, Citeaux, a monastic cheese still made by monks, and creamy Chauve. Across France, the diversity is unmatched, from soft goat cheese in the Loire to Comté in Jura to Roquefort in the south. If you want to drink red wine to cheese, pairing with a lighter style Pinot Noir is usually a good choice. The fruitiness complements the red berry condiments, the acidity cleanses the palate, and the tannins never overpower. Then came dessert. A trilogy of Valrhona dark chocolate, showcased in every form and texture imaginable. Raw, mousse, caramelized ice cream, and foam, bold, decadent, and beautifully bittersweet, with just a hint of peppery edge. It was a chocolate at its most expressive. I like this one. And while I often find desserts a little too heavy, this one struck a fine balance and never overwhelmed. Finally, a lighter touch. Vanilla-based parfait, balancing sweetness and acidity with elegance. After such a journey, it's a fitting closing note to what truly has been a great dining experience. Before we wrap up with the final scores across ambience, service, wine, and food, I want to thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, please give it a like or hype. Your support really makes a difference and helps me keep bringing you the stories of the world's best chefs and restaurants. Thank you. Now, let's rate the first category, design and atmosphere. As you've seen throughout the episode, this is a cozy, classic fine dining restaurant with history in every wall, and I really do like this place. The only drawback here is that it's not the most private setting, and the acoustics can be quite harsh, making it difficult to hear the waiter when the room is full of conversation. Still, it's hard to take off too many points for that, and the ambience lands at a solid 8 out of 10. Now for the service category. The staff here is genuinely impressive. Young, passionate, and clearly invested in creating a memorable experience for the guests. You really feel their energy and commitment throughout the evening. That said, there were a few small missteps. Serving a full course without refilling glasses, not resetting napkins when guests return from the restrooms, and missing those small touches with the chairs. These may seem like details, but at this level, they matter. Overall, I rate the service at 17 out of 20. Next up, one of the most exciting categories for me, the wines. No surprise here, the quality was excellent, with top Burgundy producers chosen and pairings that matched the main courses beautifully. The sommelier clearly knows the cellar well, but there were gaps. No wines were served with the true desserts, leaving us to enjoy them with water, which felt like a missed opportunity. I didn't get that. A sweet wine, or even two, given how different the desserts were, would have elevated the experience in my opinion. Add to that the missing pairing to the foie gras, an occasional lack of refills, and the score for wine ends at 15 out of 20. Now for the final and most important category, the food. Chef Jordan Billan and his team are doing an outstanding job in the kitchen. Classic French cooking, elevated with refinement, precision, and just enough creativity to make it exciting. At times, I wish for a little bit more intensity and playfulness maybe, but overall the dishes were beautifully balanced with excellent textures and technical skill on display. For food, That's a strong 45 out of 50, which brings the total score for restaurant Clos du Cedre to 85 out of 100, placing it in my very good restaurant tier. Congratulations to the whole team, and I can't wait to come back and see how this restaurant continues to evolve. And if you're curious how today's French restaurant compared to a 1 Michelin-starred Spanish restaurant, watch this video next where I visit the best restaurant in Sevilla, Spain. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to not miss my next episode coming up shortly. I'll see you in the next one.